I watched a lot of YouTube videos, just like you're doing right now, and read a lot of forums about the Osmo Action 3 before I jumped on board and made my purchase. And then, once I did make my purchase and I had the camera in hand and started my setup process, I realized that I was running into a number of obstacles that I've never seen talked about on YouTube videos or on different forums, and I figured I can't be the only one that has these problems. So I thought I'd jump on here, do a quick video, and share them with you in case you have these issues as well. Before I go any further, if you find anything useful in this content, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. Maybe consider hitting that subscribe button down below. Maybe even leave a comment down below as well. I'd really appreciate that. Now, let's get right into the issues I was having. All right, so for the record, I bought the camera directly from DJI. I did buy the adventure package, so I got the camera and the selfie stick and the 2 extra batteries and the charging case. That's what I purchased. All right, so after unboxing, as many of you know, you need to activate the camera before you can go on and use it. So, and to activate it, you need to have the Mimo app on your phone. So I have the original Osmo Action, and I have the Mimo app on my phone. So I thought I'd just try to see if that matched up. Well, I tried to have the Mimo app find the Osmo Action 3, and it never would recognize the camera. As you might also know, once you get the Osmo Action in the mail, a little QR code will pop up in the screen on the front and the back. So in case you don't have the Mimo app, you can take your camera, scan the QR code, it'll take you to DJI, and you can download the Mimo app, or you can update the Mimo app that you have. So, because it didn't find it in my Mimo app, I went ahead and I jumped on the camera. Now you have 5 skips. When you get the camera, it'll show your QR code, and it'll say you have 5 skips. Well, I did my first skip, jumped in the camera to see if maybe my settings were wrong somewhere, and I just need to change something real quick on the camera, and then go back out and try and have the Mimo app find the Osmo Action 3 again. So that took care of 1 skip, and that didn't work. So I'm going to shorten this story by saying I kept messing around long enough that I used up all 5 skips, and I never got the camera to be found by my Mimo app on my Samsung phone. And I even uninstalled the Mimo app on my phone. I reinstalled the Mimo app. I tried to do updates on the Mimo app. I disconnected my hotspot in the house to make sure that the Wi-Fi was not interfering with anything I was doing. I tried everything I could possibly do to make this thing match up, and it would never be recognized by the Mimo app. So I contacted DJI and I told them the situation I was in, and they told me that because I'd used up my 5 skips, that I needed to package it back up, send it back to DJI, and they would resend out a new package with a camera for me to start over again. Good grief. I waited for the camera, and then I went through my process, and then they want me to send it back to DJI. So that didn't thrill me. Now let me show you what I experienced when I tried to get the Mimo app to locate this camera. Let me show you that. All right, so the phone's on, my Wi-Fi, my Bluetooth is on. Let me go in here and turn on the DJI app, and let me turn on the Osmo Action 3. All right, there's the Osmo Action 3 is on, and as you notice, it did not recognize the Osmo Action yet. So let me go in here and hit device. Now it's going to search for the Osmo Action 3. And that's what I dealt with over and over and over again. It just searching, device not found, and it kept searching and searching and searching. And I did this at least 10 to 12 times after uninstalling the app on the phone, reinstalling the app, trying to do updates on the app over and over and over again. This is all I ever got. All right, for the record, the use of one of my skips was to get inside the camera to make sure I was at 2.4 gigahertz and everything was fine there. After DJI said I should package it up and ship it back, I said, oh, heck no, what else can I do? So my smartphone is the only smartphone we really have in the household. Diane's phone is an old phone. It's a pay-as-you-go. It doesn't support much of anything. So I decided to get hold of a friend and asked if I brought my camera over, if they would download the Mimo app and see if I could activate the camera off of their phone. And they agreed, of course. So I took the camera over there, we downloaded the app on their phone, and sure enough, I was able to locate the camera on their phone, and activate the camera. So that took care of that. So I was very relieved. I didn't have to send the camera back to DJI. And even though I cannot hook this camera up to my phone still, at least I can use the camera. And hopefully if I have to do any updates, which I do need to do an update at this point, I can go use her phone again and do my updates. So that's how I still have the phone without sending it to DJI. All right, so of course, as soon as I was able to activate the camera, the next step was to go out and shoot some video to see how the camera worked. When I turn on the camera, I would get a notification on the screen saying that the SD card is slow and that it may stop recording. Well, I've never seen that before. I have the original Osmo Action, I have the DJI Pocket, I have the DJI Mavic Pro drone, and I've always used the SanDisk Ultra micro SD cards and have never had an issue and have never seen that notification. I did a little research and come to find out that the Ultra just wasn't going to cut it. It needed a better card, I guess. So I bought the SanDisk Extreme, and when I put the Extreme in the camera, the notification went away. Now let me show you that notification real quick so you see what I'm talking about. All right, let me turn the camera on. Look real quick because the notification doesn't stay very long. There you go. See that orange piece up there? SD card speed slow. Shooting may also stop. That's no good. All right, well, we got past those two obstacles and we're moving along smoothly. I really think what it comes down to is that my phone is a Samsung S22 Ultra, and looking at the Mimo app, the highest Samsung phone I saw supported was the Samsung S20. So if you have something above an S20 and you plan on getting the Osmo Action 3, you may have this same issue and you may want to plan in advance to have another phone or another device handy to do the activation for you. So I'm hoping that DJI will eventually get around to supporting the Samsung S22, and if not, I'll be thinking of some way to do my updates when they come around. But anyway, at this point, we're moving right along. We're using the camera and testing it out, and all is good. But I want to share a couple more things with you about the camera before I go any further. Hey, have you hit that thumbs up button yet, or left a comment? I just thought I'd check in with you real quick. Anyway, so I love the camera, right? So the camera comes with a case. I imagine even without doing the adventure package, you get the case. I really love the magnetic mounting system. You've seen that on a ton of videos already. I'm not going to go over that with you. I really love that. But one of the things that I got used to on my Osmo Action, which I'm filming on, by the way, or I'm videoing on, is that I put on a different case on my Action, and I have a cold shoe. And I use the DJI wireless mic system, the dual wireless mic, and I got really used to putting my receiver up in the cold shoe on top of my case. This has no cold shoe. So my little handheld tripod, which is my Osmo Action sitting on right now, does have a slot to hold things like the receiver or a light cube. But I really like the shoe on top of the case. So what I did, I went ahead and bought another case. Another thing about this, before I'm going to go back a little bit, is that the only thing you have available with the case that comes with it is to get into the little USB port right there, right? That's the only thing you can get into. You can't get anything else. If you want to get into the battery or anything like that, you need to take it out of the case. It's easily done when I'm not on film. And then you can get to the other side, open it up, and get to the battery and your SD card, which is not a big deal. It's not hard to get it in and out of the case, obviously. But those things just weren't quite what I wanted. So I went ahead and I bought this PGY Tech case. It's alloy case. It's the same company that makes this, or not that, I'm sorry. The case that's on my Osmo Action that's sitting right up there that I'm videoing this with. The same company. I've had that case for over a year and I've really enjoyed it. But I bought this. Now this one opens up and the camera slides in from the end and then shuts. And that still gives me access to my USB port there, access to the power button, access, of course, to the video button, and it still has the magnetic mount down here to hook up to the mounting system for the Osmo Action 3, like that. So that still works. And it still has a mounting on the end in case you want to mount like this to shoot things for TikTok or whatever else. So, of course, they thought that all through. And then a step further that I like, if you want to get to the battery, the other side drops down and you can open that up and you can get to the battery and you can get to your SD card. Now, it is back in there a little bit, so getting the battery is pretty easy. You can get the battery in and out very easy, as you can see. But getting the SD card is in there a little bit. That may be a bit touchy, but at least you can get to it from both ends. And look at that. It has a cold shoe up on top. Now I can mount the receiver of my DJI wireless mic and use it the way I'm used to using it. Now, before I go any further, that is another obstacle I've run across. Of course, you have to take off this door like you do on the other Osmo Action in order to get to the USB port so you can plug in your external mic. And I have bought a couple things, right? I bought this little piece here to go into the USB port so that I can then plug my DJI wireless mic into. That's what I saw people say you needed to do. But when I do that, I get no audio. So I'm not sure if I bought the wrong cable or what, but I'm going to send this back. I'm going to do some more research, maybe find the right cable. I know that the USB port works because if I take the camera out of the case and then use the adapters that come with the DJI wireless mic and plug it into the side of the camera, I can get audio through the mics. So I know that works, but a lot of the video that I shoot, I have the camera maybe pointing out the sunroof of the car or the truck, going down a road, or we're out on trails, I'm riding bikes, it's mounted to a bike, or something like that. And I'm not really keen on that receiver being inside that USB port bouncing around with no real support. I feel much more secure having that receiver in a cold shoe and maybe a cable poked in that port, right? It just seems better to me. So I'm going to do some more research on that, and then when I figure it out, when I come back and do a review on the camera, tell you how I like the camera, I will share that information with you. Or maybe if you watch this video and you know what I should be getting other than this, let me know. I'd welcome that. Now, and in order for me to use my wireless mic and put my receiver in here to use, now I have to take the camera out of the case because I can't get it to fit inside here, right? The little piece I use to stick in here. Well, let me show you. All right, so on the original Osmo, which again I'm videoing on now, I was able to take this piece here and I was able to put it into the USB port on the side with the case on it, and then run this up to the receiver, which would go in that cold shoe, and things are pretty secure. But this piece, even though it may look like it's in there, When I punch that in there, it doesn't stay in there very secure, and I get no audio. So that was no good at all. I even took it out of the case and thought maybe it just wasn't making good contact. But even when I took it out of the case and plugged this in, I got no audio. So to make sure that the port was working, I took the adapter that comes in the Osmo or the DJI wireless mic kit, and I put that on the receiver, and I was able to plug that in, and I was able to get sound by doing it that way. So I know it works, and well, you can see it bouncing right there, so it's bouncing. But even when I put it on with the with that little adapter on here, the sound was bouncing on the receiver, but it never went to the camera. So just because it's bouncing doesn't mean anything. But I did do it like this, and I walked 20, 30 foot away and used the microphone, and I did get audio this way. So I know that the port works. I just don't really like the idea of having this thing bouncing down a bike trail. I'm sure it's okay. I'm sure people do it. I may be a little overcautious, but I'm not crazy about that, and I will find a way to get around it. And if I do it this way, I can't do this and have it inside the case. That won't work. It's not long enough to reach. So I can't use the cold shoe. Now I'm back to the cold shoe issue, right? So I'll figure that out, and I'll share that in the next video, but that's another obstacle to think about if you use the DJI wireless mic. All right, well, hopefully this video helps someone. Even if it helps one person, it's well worth doing. I'm going to put a link down below in the description that'll take you to Amazon in case you want to pick up this case. I think it's a well-built case. I love the cold shoe built in. I love the accessibility it gives you to both sides of the camera. I'm going to put a link down below. It'll take you to Amazon, as I mentioned. Full disclosure, if you do use that link, it'll take you to Amazon. You will pay the same price as you would if you just went right to Amazon directly, but I will get a small commission, 25 cents maybe, something like that. But hey, anything helps the channel, so that'd be great. Speaking of helping the channel, again, if this video helped you at all, or you think it might help someone else, you enjoyed the video, how about a thumbs up? That's free. Maybe leave a comment down below. It really helps the channel out. And consider subscribing. I'll be doing a review on this later on. We're really a full-time RV lifestyle channel, but I do reviews like this now and again, and I'll be doing more reviews on this and a few other electronics down the road that you may enjoy. Anyway, as always, have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.